I went to Burger King. I got a burger. Yo, grandma is a squirter. I take it further. She's sucking on my worm like it's a Werther's. Oh, yeah. My name is Gerbert. I'm eating yogurt. I like 15-year-old girls. What's up?
What's up?
You know, is God real?
Yes.
What happens after you die? What's going on here? These are the questions we've been asking for, at least 15 years. And I'm here to answer them. Contrary to popular belief, Gerby has all the answers. There's not really anything I can't answer if I don't think about it for enough, time. And here's what I'll say. Christianity is hypocritical, and here's why. On one hand, they say no gays, right? Gay, that's not good. But then on the other hand, they tell you accept Jesus Christ into your heart. So one day you're going to tell me that I can't be gay. The next you're telling me to accept a dude into my heart. Is that not fruity? So Christianity, that shit's out the window. That makes no sense. No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke. Let's see. I had to write shit down. Otherwise, I'll go completely off the rails. That's what always happens.
That sounds
Religion. Oh, okay. I grew up Christian. And then, what happens with a lot of people who grow up Christian between the ages of 10 to 14, then you're not Christian anymore. And now I feel like I feel like I'm looping back around into it. But here's how I look at religion right now. Before we get wild into all the mumbly jumbly, I just look at religion as a rule book. I think that all of the values inside of the Judeo-Christian shit that dude, I'm so stupid. Let me just pause for a second, and I'm going to actually articulate myself. You fucking moron. You little dicked loser. You coward. All right.
Just in case.
The Judeo-Christian values that built society as we know it, the Western society, they're good. And we see what happens when we start to lose those bitches. Everybody's running around, causing a ruckus, playing with their worm, doing abhorrent shit, and society's falling apart because you ain't sticking to the values, my baby. So that's what I'm saying. The values are good. I look at religion as a rule book. Religion, if you go into the linguistics of it or whatever the fuck, the semantics, you do something religiously. It's a way of behavior. It's not a way of believing. And I feel like a lot of the Christians I grew up with, they just believe in it, but they don't even do any of the Christian shit. They're running around fucking. They're being goobers, doing all the 7 deadly sins. They're greedy. After church, here's a weird thing. After church, they're all hard pressed about the no sex before marriage thing. But then right after church, there's these processed donuts, a bunch of processed foods you're eating. Is that not gluttony? If you want to I don't know if all the sins are equal. I forgot about that. But I remember someone told me the sins are sort of, they're all sins. We're all sinners.
Yeah.
And they're all bad.
They are all bad.
But you're going to crack down really hard on this one thing. But then right after the service, people are throwing down honey buns, all these fat fucks in church. What's the deal? Jesus ain't down for that shit. Was Jesus fat? No. Get your life together. I'm just playing. I love fat people. Fat people are lovely. I think they're great, honestly. They're the most chill people. You know what I'm saying? I think they're cool. What else do I have? A rule book. Religion is a rule book that should be followed. Anything that extends beyond the values and what it teaches, when you get into the metaphysical, that's when I just lose all ability to fucking. That's when I lose interest, honestly. It's impossible to comprehend. Even if you are Christian, if you believe in a God, for the most part, unless you're believing in some hurdy-gurdy little-ass jank religion, God is infinite, immeasurable, undefinable. So how are you going to run around talking about him like you know shit? The finite mind cannot grasp the infinite.
That's true.
So why would I? Why like I've had so many conversations that are just loops, and it just like my mind just stops working after a little bit because it's impossible to really comprehend the shit. So when it comes to the metaphysics, I have no idea. But all I know is that the rules are good.
Yes. Yes.
The values are good, and they are what built society, and they are what's going to would keep it going. They're probably not going to because that shit's dying.
Yeah.
But that's what I know. So the fact that the values are good, that lends credence to it. But all the metaphysical shit, I mean, there's a lot of holes in it, but also it's just impossible to think about. The one thing, well, there were a couple things that, sort of thinking about it in the metaphysical sense when I was starting to doubt Christianity when I was like 13. I can't remember when it was, somewhere around there, my early teens, preteens. There are a few things that sort of catalyzed me moving away from it. The first is the idea of hell. Just generally, the idea that if you disagree or if you don't accept Jesus into your heart, you're gonna die you're gonna burn forever in a lake of fire. That's ridiculous. That's some wild shit. That's some wild shit. And you've probably heard all the arguments. It's whatever. What you believe in is primarily based off your geography, right? If you're born in Syria, you're gonna be Muslim. If you're born in China, I don't know what they're Buddhist or some shit. Whatever goes on, you believe what you're raised in, what your family believes, what your culture believes, right? So the idea that all these people who just by virtue of geography, just by chance, they weren't raised in Christianity, they don't have a concept of it, it's not a thing, they're just going to burn in hell forever. Come on, Johnson. What's up with that, man? That's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of goofy. So that's one of the things that brought me away from it. And to this day, I don't know how I could reconcile that. I am getting back into Christianity, and I guess the way I think about it is that I truly believe that the whole idea of hell being a lake of fire that you burn forever after you die, that was a forced, contrived interpretation of the Bible from corruption, like a fear tactic to control people. That whole idea of hell. You could believe in hell as separation from God, but when you go into that could mean a whole variety of things. The idea that you're going to be in eternal suffering if you don't believe what I believe, if you don't believe in the Bible, that has to be a fucking... That's a control tactic that was artificially added to the whole belief system. That's truly how I feel. And I went to a private school for my first 2 years of school, and I remember they talked about it like I believe in Islam they think that the Bible is like a watered down version of the original text, and they said that can't be because the analogy of a game of telephone is used a lot, like how it's passed down from one person to another and it gets diluted. But the scribe system was very, they paid attention to detail, very methodical.
Yes.
It was perfect. It was not perfect. It was fucking very accurate.
Yeah.
So the scribe system can't really be compared to a game of telephone, the system that they use to pass down the Bible.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying it was like a game of telephone. I'm not saying somebody made a little oopsie. I'm saying, look at all the corruption that happened with religion over all these years. You're telling me some guy with an agenda didn't fuck the shit up so they can control people, get more money, get more power. Like, the fear of hell is a great way to control people. That shit had to be implanted. No shot. And also another thing about religion, I always grew up where Christianity and evolution were like mutually exclusive. You couldn't believe in both of them. But it's weird because all of these Judeo-Christian values are what kept our primitive instincts in check and allowed us to ascend them. Like, they are what brought society forth out of the jungle, are these values that runs counter to our monkey brain, to our Freudian id, if you will. All these values suppress these animalistic parts of us. So it's kind of, I don't know how. It seems like these religious doctrines were somewhat acknowledging of our true nature, our true human nature, which derives from evolution. I don't know. Just a thought. Maybe they didn't know about evolution, but the Bible does say humans are naturally sinful, da-da-da. I just thought of something else. What else was I thinking about? I forgot about it. It is what it is, my baby. I feel like it was a juicy subject.
It probably was.
It just slipped daddy's mind, and that's what happens, man. All this fucking is making me lose my damn memory. Having so much sex, I can't even do my damn memory. Oh yeah, another thing back when I was doubting religion that sort of was weird is that they say in the Bible that God is all-powerful and also all good.
Yes.
But that can't be true because there is suffering. Yeah, so that's a contradiction. And people say, well, there has to be good, there has to be bad for there to be good, but that's a rule, right? That's a rule, and if God can't bend that rule, then he's not all-powerful. So it's contradictory. People try to wiggle their way out of it. There's actually no way. I've had so many conversations. There cannot be something that is all-powerful and all good. It don't make no sense. So there you go. The idea, there has to be good for there to be bad. There has to be bad for there to be good. And that is a rule that God cannot bend. Therefore, he's not omnipotent. Or whatever I think it's omnipotent is the all-powerful. So there you go. That's another thing I've been thinking about, but it doesn't change the fact that all these fucking religious values are good. So I don't know. I don't really need to think about it, be on some fedora shit, be like, well, actually, this doesn't make sense. All these values are good, and I want to get back into the church. I just don't know how I can I don't know. I feel like most people aren't really thinking that hard at church anyways. They're just fucking, it's part of a community, whatever. I guess I'm a Christian. I don't fucking know. Yeah, whatever. Have a blessed day.